So the koshas, in the most simple way to explain this, are the layers or the sheaths of awareness. So yoga teaches us that we are not just these one-dimensional beings. Yoga teaches us that there are layers to our awareness, to our consciousness, and that we have choice about which layer to rest our awareness into, which layer to perceive the world from. And it also gives us a map. So the koshas become this map of showing us how the divine manifests into form. So everything that we are, that we see, that we touch, everything that we hear, that we are engaging with in this world that we live in is all part of the manifest, right? However, everything we see in the manifest world, everything that exists in the manifest world is an emanation that can be returned back to the source. So essentially, everything is a vibrating field of holiness. Everything comes from the one, and you can call that one by any name, right? We know at this point that there are many names and many faces for the one, and you could call that one source. It could be higher self, it could be emptiness, radiance, vastness. You might use more personal forms, God, goddess, Krishna, Durga, right? There are countless names to call this one. And my experience is that it's all really the same. Maybe even just say essence, right? So in this big picture of the koshas, the sheaths of awareness, the layers of our being, we get to see how this divine source gives rise to space, and the space gives rise to air, and the air gives rise to the fire. Fire gives rise to water, and water gives rise to earth. So we, as these very complex beings, we are made up of all these layers, all these elements, all these qualities and traits. And you can picture, like people say, the onion metaphor, oh, you can always go in and in and in, or those little stacking dolls, like the Russian stacking dolls. That's how we are, right? We can keep going in and in and in, or we can, from the very innermost place, go out, out, out. So the teachings about the koshas, it's very profound. And when you can embody this philosophy, it makes your life different, right? We could be having an emotional reaction to something. I know I'm not alone in sometimes having an emotional reaction to something. And we could suddenly be all encompassed by this emotion. Maybe it's anger, maybe it's fear, whatever it may be. And then we can actually pause. We can take a deep breath and we can go in perhaps to the element of space, to the field, Satchitananda, that is actually inner comfort, inner joy. And we can gain a wider perspective about whatever the situation is that we're facing, that we were kind of reveling in the anger. So I instead of talking more and explaining all of this, I always love to weave, and this is what we do in Embody Yoga. We weave philosophy into an embodiment practice so that rather than trying to think about it, we can become it, right? We can start to sense and feel these things in our body. So that's what we're going to do as we journey together. So let's just tune in first by finding whatever seat feels like home for you in this moment. Come and take whatever seat that invites you to settle. And drawing your hands together into Anjali Mudra, let there be a little space in the cup of your hands for you to pause, for you to bow with curiosity into what are the layers of yourself. What are you made up of? How can you float your awareness through these layers of your being and not get stuck in a very specific loop or quality? Can you return to the innermost layer, which is divine consciousness? So wherever you are, be there. Notice perhaps if right now your awareness is resting more in the earth or more in the water, or maybe you're in space. So whatever it is, be there. Be present to whatever is presenting itself. We'll chant Om 3 times together. So as you're ready, exhaling your breath all the way to empty, pause for a moment, and then receive the gift of your inhale. Pause for a moment to honor all the layers that you are made up of, from the very innermost, undifferentiated, universal consciousness out to the individual consciousness. So moving from the Atma Maya Kosha to the Chitta Maya Kosha, honoring the space, Ananda Maya Kosha, the air, Vijnana Maya Kosha, the fire in you, the Mano Maya Kosha, the water, Prana Maya Kosha, and the earth in you, Ana Maya Kosha. And as you're ready, go ahead and release your hands and let your head float up. And we're going to start with the earth element. So we'll move from the outermost to the innermost. And I invite you to come into a supported squat for this. So if you're warm enough, go ahead and remove your socks. And if you have a couple blocks to sit on, or if you have a couple blankets to sit on, whatever you've got to give yourself some height, we're going to start there. Okay, just want to move the camera a bit. All right. So when you come to sit into Upaveshasana, you're going to want to have a lot of support because we're entering into the earth element, which has the consciousness of stability. So come up high enough. See how I'm really high, and you don't need to be this high unless your body needs it. And you want to find your heels rooted to the earth, not lifting up. So if your heels are not able to come to the earth comfortably, again, sit up higher, or not or, and. So sit up higher and take your blanket so that it's under your heels. Okay? So coming to sit into this first inquiry into the earth, you're going to bring your torso and your arms inside your legs here. So we're opening up pretty wide, and you want to press your pelvic halves, legs, and feet diagonally down and away from you. Draw your hands into Anjali Mudra, and this time we're going to look for the quality of firmness. So the earth element inside of you, your Annamaya kosha, your food sheath. This is about finding the stability, the firmness. So let's go into the compact bones. So find your pelvic halves, legs, and feet bones, and really firmly press them down and away from you. And then taking your hands together, let it be a firm Anjali Mudra. Press your hand bones in towards each other. And as you press your hand bones firmly into each other, press your arm bones and leg bones into each other. So it's a dance of resistance, right? I'm trying to move my legs out and my legs are trying to bring my arms in, and they both win. And there's a stability here in the yield and push. Now, when you yield and push your hands into each other, stabilize your shoulder blades onto your back. Sense the compact, bony sitting bones grounding down into the earth. Begin to deepen your breath so that it is steady. See if you can find an even, steady, inhaling breath matched with an even, steady, exhaling breath. You are welcome to use the Ujjayi pranayama if that's comfortable for you. Annamaya kosha. Anna means food. This is your physiological sheath. This is about you taking care of your basic needs, your food, your shelter, your nourishment, even being clothed properly. This is about your existence, basic existence. And we take it for granted, a lot of us. Are we having our basic needs met? And if so, can we really honor that? Feel your depth. Feel the heaviness of your body moving down into the earth's body. And as you push your legs and feet down and away from you into the earth, feel how the earth holds you. So earth is inside every cell in your body, and earth is under you, supporting you. So another few more breaths just like this. Even, steady breath. With clarity, draw your belly pit in and up, and slide the bony vertebral column of your spine up. Open your jaw joints, float your jaw joints straight up. Your skull, the top of your head, is reaching up, but your brain is resting. Good. Now lean forward and you're going to slide any amount. You're going to slide down. You're going to slide the back of your arm bone and shoulder blade into the inside of your leg. And you're going to push this right side arm and leg into each other. And you're spinning through your ribs. So again, focusing on the bones here and the earth element. If you'd like, fingertips can come to the floor or hands can come to a block or to the floor. As you spin through your ribs, reach your left arm up. Now keep pressing your legs and feet down and away from you. Invite the center of your perineum, so earth in the pelvic floor. Earth in your pelvic floor. Invite it to rise. And invite it to rise right in the center of your perineum, which is right in the center of your pelvic floor. As you're breathing even, steady breaths, lift the base of your skull just a little bit so that you're not jutting your chin up. Good. And as you're ready, unspin, firm push of your hands into each other. Even, steady breath. Notice the stillness in you. Notice the density in you. Notice the part of you that's quiet and deep. And then slide to the other side. So bring the left back of arm and shoulder. You want to be careful not to lift up the shoulder. So pressing your arm, back of your shoulder blade into the inside of your leg, spin open. And again, you can press your left hand into your block and really be mindful to initiate the spin through your ribs. Because we're focusing into the bones for the earth, Let your ribs spin you. Keep pressing firmly with your legs and feet down and away from you into the earth. Feel the earth rise up into you. 2 more even, steady breaths. Good, and as you're ready, unspin. Firm push of your hands. Do you feel when you press your hands firmly into each other and your arms and your legs resist into each other? This is active. This is not passive. This is an active yield and push. Do you feel how it stabilizes your shoulder blades onto your back? So the earth element invites us into finding how support precedes action. When we feel safe, when we know where we are, when we know what's holding us from both the inside and the outside, then we have more clarity and wisdom about where to go. So we never want to say, oh, the earth element is superficial, it's the outermost, the physiological sheath, our body doesn't matter. No, your body is the temple that you live in. So it matters, and it's a sacred, very sacred sheath, right? This layer of your existence, your survival, your basic needs. Now, as you're ready, go ahead and straighten your legs. So we're coming into Upavista Konasana. And again, you can be sitting up as high as you would like to be. So anytime we come to sit, we want to make sure that our pelvis is not, the top rim of the pelvis is not rocking forward or rocking back. So find the neutral rim of your pelvis, sitting bones earthed. Now go ahead and flex your feet. Again, have a sense of firmness, a clarity going down through your sitting bones. As you flex your feet, you pull your toes back towards you and you enliven the arches of your feet. So bandhas, support of the bandhas, the arches of your feet are rising, your pelvic floor is rising, your navel is yielding back. All of these bandhas provide containment for energy, for prana, for life force. When we are contained, we have the invitation to experience greater safety because there's a sense of containment, a sense of boundary into our own self. So you have a choice here. You can be upright as we are. This is difficult for you. I'm going to suggest that you lean back onto your tippy fingers, press your tippy fingers into the earth, and avoid pushing forward. But as you press down, slide up through your bony spine. Another option is to come forward. Maybe you'd like to experience a bow. If you're coming forward, you want to let your whole self come forward, right? Allow a rainbow arc through your vertebral column, mindful not to hunch over, not to pull yourself, and that all aspects of your spine are coming forward. So in other words, if I turn to the side here, it's not that I'm coming forward, but some part of my spine is jutting back, right? We want to avoid that because again, we're looking for stability, safety, clarity, whole spine, bows forward. So wherever you are in the expression of Upavista Konasana, 3 more breaths here. And let's use a 4-4 count breath to encourage the steadiness. So on your own, 3 rounds, inhale for 4, exhale for 4. And after you release the 3rd round of the 4-4 count breath, Come and bring yourself upright. Bend your knees and make your way to Parmanasana, table. So when you come into table, you can come to hands and knees, or you can come to fisted hands and knees, or you can come to your forearms. Okay, so see what's going to serve your wrists best and your elbows best. And as you come into Parmanasana, table, look for the solidity and the steadiness, resting in the layer of you, the Annamaya kosha, the food sheath, the physiological, this care for your beautiful body. Take your wrists shoulder width apart, slightly forward of your shoulders. Press with a clarity of firmness the tops of your feet, shins, and knees down and away from you. Feel how the rebound goes all the way up your legs, up your spine to your crown. And then micro bending your elbows if you are on your hands or your fists, and pushing down and away from you to receive the rebound of prana that comes up your arms, down the front of your spine, and it reaches the tip of your tail back. Now move with the simplicity of an even breath. Inhale, move through extension. Exhale, move through flexion. Move with a sense of stability. See if you might be able to find safety. We cannot define what safety is for anyone else, right? I cannot tell you what would create a safe space for you, but you, as the wise yoga practitioner that you are, you can look into this earth element inside of you and notice, where do you feel safe? What creates an experience of safety for you? Moving a few more times, inhaling as you roll through extension, exhaling as you move through flexion. And if you'd like, you can switch it up a little bit with inhaling, spin to the left, hips, and you look back at the left, and exhale to the right. And just move a few times like that. Inhale left, exhale right. So very clear movements of your spine, right? You're either going extension with clarity, flexion with clarity, or a lateral bend. And in these last few breaths of exploring these different spinal movements from the earth perspective, I invite you to notice what you smell. The element of earth is related to the sense of smell. So when you want to ground into the earth element, the Annamaya kosha, your physiological sheath of being, you might pause to notice what it is that you smell. Good, and then as you're ready, come to stillness, sit back on your heels for just a moment. And we're going to chant 3 times the seed sound, the bija of the earth. So this practice of nyasa, where we install something, it could be a sound, it could be a quality, it could be a vibration. So nyasa invites us to install something into our body. We're going to use the practice of nyasa to install the seed sound, the vibrational sound of the earth element into every cell in our body, because it's not just our bones that experience earth. Earth can be found everywhere. So simply sitting, and please, if this is not comfortable, sit in a different position. We won't be here long. We'll chant 3 times, we'll pause, and then we'll do 3 more. So the seed sound for the earth element is lang. And you want to reverberate that NG sound up into the roof, the soft palate, the cave of your mouth. All right. So placing the vibrational seed sound of the earth element into your whole body. Place your hands on your legs, draw your belly pit in and up. Exhale all the way to empty and inhaling. Lang. 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 Release, feel your breath. So it's like if I were to try to spell it out, it's like Laang, but it's it reverberates up. Let's try 3 more. Placing the seed sound of the earth element into every cell in your body, exhaling and inhaling. Lang. 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 And letting that go. Noticing what you smell. Noticing the density, the stillness, the heaviness, the vibration of earth, stability, security, safety inside of you, and your ability to wisely care for this beautiful body temple that you live in. Good, you're going to make your way now into Brahmanasana again, and we're going to start to weave the earth into the water. So I invite you now to start to make some circles. And these are circles that start to move a little bit through a cobra and a little bit through a child's pose. And as you begin to move here, yes, you keep the yield and push of everything that's touching the earth so that you may receive the rebound, so that prana may move you and flow through you. Now move with your breath. Let the Ujjayi pranayam move you. Ujjayi makes the sound of the ocean as your vocal cords, specifically your glottis, hugs in and around your breath. It makes the sound of the whisper. So start to feel this slippery, slidey, smooth, easeful, graceful, watery quality of movement. And let it be that that inhale, Ujjayi, moves you one way. Exhale, it moves you the other way. So settling our awareness and our embodiment practice into the pranamaya kosha. This is what we might call the energy or life force sheath of being. Right? This is the layer of you that is the pranic body, also the emotional body, which of course is nothing but energy in motion. We need to remember that. You know, we take our emotions to be like the king and queen and everything in between, but they're not. The emotions that we experience, they are just energy in motion, moving through us. So go ahead and switch your circles now. Inhale, spiraling. Exhale, circling back and around. Using that Ujjayi. We are made of so many different kinds of fluids. We're at least 75% water. So move through these circles in the way of embodying and knowing from your inner sensing that you are fluid, you are liquid, you are energy flowing. Good, and when you're ready, come to stillness and just lower yourself down onto your front body. And as you lower yourself down onto your front body, Draw your big toes together, draw your legs together, and allow there to be a pulsing, because the water and the fluids in you, they pulse, they seep, right? The original water is contained within every single cell in your body. And all the cells in your body are swimming in a sea of interstitial fluids, and they communicate to each other through the fluids. And as the fluids grow, there's a sponging. And as they grow, there's pulsation. So pulse your pubic bones into the disc between them. Slide the disc back into you. And arms out by your sides like a little fallen cactus here. Move with grace and ease as you inhale, ripple up off the floor. Everything comes up. Front body undulates to your back body to lift you. And exhale, float back down. Try not to squeeze your back muscles. Allow the depth of the water under you to lift you up, and the depth of your front body to undulate towards your back body to lift you up. And you're going to move a few more times, rippling, inhale, up, slowly pouring back down, exhale. Again, riding inside the waves of that Ujjayi pranayama. And as you move a few more times like this, floating up, inhaling, floating down, exhaling, open your mouth and notice the wetness inside your mouth. The pranamaya kosha, the vital or energetic life force aspect of you, is related to the sense of taste. Good, so lower down this next time, make a little pillow. Stack your hands one on top of the other. Lower either your forehead or turn your head to the side. And as you settle into the Ujjayi pranayama while you're resting in the depth of the water, in the stillness of the water, notice what you taste. Notice the wet areas inside your mouth. You can even move your tongue and kind of trace your tongue around the inside of your mouth. Good, and then bring your forehead back to the earth. Bring your hands by the sides of your chest. Spread your fingers wide. And as you inhale, float up Bhujangasana. And as you exhale, pour back down. Good. Begin to notice what you feel on the layer of emotion as you move up and down. And one other option, by the way, is to take your arms out to the sides and come up to your fingertips and push your fingertips down and ripple. I really like to do that. It's a little bit more challenging physically, but you can try. Rippling like the ocean waves. Keep drawing your belly pit in and up, undulating the fullness of your navel belly, including your small intestine and your mesentery. See if you can undulate the whole peritoneal sac and all the fluids in your belly back towards your back abdominal wall. As you inhale and float up, notice what you feel emotionally, energy in motion. As you float down on your exhale, notice what you feel emotionally. Good. And the next time you float down, place your hands by the sides of your chest, push down, float up, full cobra, and pull back into Balasana, child's pose. Options here, you can take your knees together or your knees can come apart, resting your forehead on something. So maybe it's even a pillow that you rest your forehead on. And as you rest in Balasana, child's pose, notice the inner fluids. So maybe you notice the blood moving through your veins and arteries.
And as you rest here, direct the Ujjayi breath into your back lungs and begin to rock yourself. So, rock yourself as though you're on a boat in the water. Pranamaya kosha, the energetic life force, pranic sheath of awareness. You resting in your energy body, you resting and knowing what's happening for you on an emotional level, being able to identify what you feel and where in your body do you feel it. Rocking a couple more times, inhaling leftward, exhaling rightward. Good. And then see if you can let this rocking just begin to move you a little more. So this pranamaya kosha, this life force sheath, this water element, the sense of taste, you're going to start to let it bring you up. In embodiment, the fluids are easily found in the water inside you, in your blood, in your fat, in your fascia. The fluids are found in the marrow inside your leg bones. So start to allow some kind of gliding, seeping, sliding type of movement, waving, pulsing, seeping. And as you feel ready, let it bring you up to knee standing and begin to just feel what emotion, if any emotion, is passing through you. You know, the pranamaya kosha is also, it's your hormones, right? This sending of hormones through our bodies. It's also your passion. It's your desires. It's your sensuality. So what do you taste here as you swim through the sea around you, as you move from the liquid body within you? As you notice your feelings, the energies in motion passing through you, let it bring you up. Start to move up towards your feet. And again, can you move from this place? Can you come to stand from this place of knowing that you can literally allow your pranic body to move you? So it's almost like we were doing an energy practice of something like qigong or tai chi, except I'm not directing you in any specific technique or form. So the invitation here is to play by allowing all of the different aspects of your fluid body and your pranic body, this energy, this life force. Can you move from your consciousness resting in your pranic body? And of course, you're still in tune with that Ujjayi pranayam, making the deep sound of the ocean. And as you feel ready, let it bring you into Tadasana, standing in mountain pose, in the stillness of that. Notice the earth in Tadasana, the steadiness, the clarity, the firmness. Notice the marrow pouring down through the insides of all of your bones in your body, this dense, dark, rich, deep blood marrow in your bones, pouring earthward. Anjali Mudra, let's flow through Ardha Surya Namaskar to feel a little bit more of whatever it is that you feel and liquid moving you. So I do invite you to really notice what you feel and where in your energy body and physical body do you feel it. Exhale, release your arms. Inhale, float out, open and up, peek up. Lift the base of your skull, draw your belly pit in and up, pour down. Yield and push into the earth, both from your marrow and your compact bone. Slide your hands up your shins, ripple your spine out. And exhale, bow. Feel yourself pour down into the earth. Feel the propelling of life force come all the way up through you, lifting you back up, reaching. And as you exhale, touch your crown, your third eye, your heart. A flowing continuous circle. Inhale, reach out, open and up. Mula Bandha rises. Exhale, pour forward. Push down, ripple out, wave out. Inhale and cascade over. Exhale. Yield, push, receive the rise of moving, flowing prana as you reach. And exhale to your crown, third eye, and heart. 2 more. Inhale, deep, full breath. Exhale, cascade down. Ripple out, wave, inhale, and the wave crashes again. Exhale. Yield, push, receive, rise, reach. And exhale, collect in. And last one, full, fluid, easy, graceful breath. Exhale, take it over. Ripple out, waving into the inhale and waving, pouring into the exhale. Yield, push, receive. Prana flows through you with ease, with grace. And collect it down, crown, third eye, heart. Pause. Feel your blood moving through you. Feel the water in every cell of your body. Honor your emotions, energy in motion. They're important to notice, but they're not the end all be all. There's so much more to you than what you feel. And in our standing of Tadasana, we'll chant the seed sound of the water element to install in this practice of nyasa, the water element into every cell in our body. So the bija, the seed sound of the water element, is vying. All right, let's do that together. Exhale all the way to empty. Receive your inhale. Vying. 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 Let it go. Ujjayi. For a moment, take a ripple. Rippling through. Just very simple. Again, undulating through your spine in a little baby Utkatasana, rippling through your arms. And collecting in for 3 more. Exhaling and inhaling. Vying. 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 Water element, pranamaya kosha, the layer of your awareness that is energy, prana, life force. As you're ready, bring the earth and the water into the fire and sit down into Utkatasana.
Sit down into the manomaya kosha. This is your mind, intellectual mind. Make an offering, place an offering into the element of fire, and then lift your torso and your arms and feel, notice, sense that little bit of burn, that little bit of heat. It's totally okay to come in and out of Utkatasana, right? You could sit back down and push to come back up. You don't have to hold it. So 3 more breaths into the fire, the element of fire, your intellectual mind, the part of your mind that is going to discern yes, no, pros and cons, all of the intellectual knowledge that you have. As you're ready, exhale, release your arms out to the sides and touch your belly. Fire element, manomaya kosha, is related to your metabolism, your digestion, your assimilation. It's also related to your nervous system. Good, now push down, come on up. Notice the fire, so touching your hands into your belly. Notice for a moment the flame of aspiration. So fire, manomaya kosha, is also related to that, that tapas, that part in you that says, I will go to the end. I will rest in my spiritual aspiration and in my visions. So sit down again into the seat of Utkatasana, bringing in all of your navel belly organs, bring them into you and float your arms out to the sides and sit down into, again, the seat of determination and will. Lift your arms up. Sit down a little deeper into the spiritual aspiration, the tapas inside of you that says, yeah, I know this is hard. Yeah, I know this is painful, but I'm going to keep going. I'm not talking about this posture. I'm talking about life. Keep with a deep breath. And when you're ready, push down, inhale, come up. Exhale, release your arms out to the sides. Open your legs up and spin your legs, your feet, your pelvic halves, everything into an external rotation and sit down. Sit down into the fire. Now, your sight, the sense of sight is related to the fire, the manomaya kosha, the mental, the intellectual mind. So sit down and stare at something in front of you and stay here. Focus your full sight and notice if when you stare at something, one point out in front of you, does it still your mind? 3 breaths right here. Fixing your gaze, does it still your mind at all? Good, and as you're ready, push down, inhale, come up, and exhale, bend elbows, bend knees. We're gonna move in and out of this. Now, while we move in and out of this, I invite you again to stare at one point because our minds are all over the place. Manomaya kosha, we also put a lot of importance into everything we think. We start thinking that what we think, or we start believing that what we believe is truth, or is the truth of the nature of reality or ourselves. But it's only one layer, right? Our thoughts only provide one layer to our wholeness. So stare at something that doesn't move and inhale, come up, and exhale, sit back down. Steady your gaze. Does it help to steady your mind? Push down, rise, inhale, exhale, sit. Notice in your body what is quick, what is precise, what is heating, and what is rising. That's all part of the manomaya kosha in embodiment. Metabolism, digestion, assimilation, heat, quick, precise, rising. sharp. Your gaze is steady. Notice what you are thinking and do this 5 more times, steadying your gaze. Notice what you think and what your relationship is to thinking. Good. The next time that you sit down, stay there, bring your hands to your belly, breathe into your intellectual mind, all that you've read, all that you've learned, all that you know. It's one layer of you. It's not the wholeness and the fullness of you. And when you're ready, push down, come up. Heel toe your feet together. And we'll take the practice of Agni Saradalti. This is the fire washing breath. This is a pranayam to pump and fan and really ignite the fire. So in Ayurveda, it is, which is the sister science of yoga, which is set, they say that the fire lives in the seat of your guts. And when you can keep the fires burning at just the right amount, not too much, not too little, then you will have health. You will have good digestive health. You will have good immune health. And it's also the seat of your spiritual aspiration. So we are always, and our nervous system shows us this very much. Are we stuck in sympathetic? Are we collapsed in parasympathetic? Or are we balanced in the middle? So the spiritual fire of the belly, and really it's of the whole being, it invites us into clarity of commitment, right? Staying in tune with our deepest aspiration. So we're going to pump the fires together. I'm going to show you one round in case it's new. Now, if you are on your first couple days of bleeding, if you're pregnant, if you're in early postpartum, you're not going to do this. If you have a stomach ulcer, if you have any ulcers in your digestive organs, if you have a hiatal hernia, you're not going to do this. So anyone who's not doing this, you're going to lean forward and you're going to do the practice of what I call spilling your guts out. So you see what I'm going to start to do here. I'm going to kind of move a little layers. I'm going to start to let everything go. You're going to let everything go and just breathe. Easy breaths into the fullness of your abdominal organs here. And then let me show you what Agni Saradalti looks like for those of you who don't know it. All right, so just watch around. Hoping I'm close enough for you to see. Okay, so watch here. Okay, so that is all done with the breath held out. So it's an intense practice, but we are in the fire element, right? And there's an intensity to fire. There's an intensity to the intellectual mind. Let's do this together. Inhale your breath. Exhale your breath all the way to empty. Lean forward. Keep your breath held out. You are not breathing at all. Breath is held out. Spill your guts out. Keeping your breath held out. Pull your belly in and let it go. You can do this 1 to 30 times. It can be that pumping that you saw. It could be the rolling and undulating that you saw. And as soon as you need air, let it go. Come up. And when you come up, move into normal, easy recovery breathing. That means you let go of the practice. You breathe easy, simple breaths. Notice what you see. Notice what you think. And then let's do this again. Inhale. Exhale, lean forward, spill your guts out. Go ahead. I know it's very difficult. We could actually spend an hour on just learning to spill the guts out. It's that complicated. Keeping your belly released, keeping the breath held out. Pull in and let it go. Pumping, rolling, or undulating. As soon as you need air, stand up, inhaling. Take a normal, easy recovery breath. Very important that you let go of the practice. And again, notice what you see. Look at something, one thing in the room, and notice what you're thinking. Notice when your thoughts are spinning in the monkey mind, and notice when the thoughts are still. Honor and value all your intellectual knowledge that you have. And last time, inhale, exhale all your breath out. Keep your breath held out, release fully through your abdomen. If you're not doing this, you just practice releasing through your abdomen and breathing into it. And fanning, pumping, or rolling 1 to 30 times. Good, beautiful. And when you're ready, stand up. Normal, easy recovery breathing. So that just means you let it all go and you breathe easy. And again, notice what you see. Are your eyes open or are your eyes closed? Notice what you see. Notice what you think. Notice what you believe. And honor that part of you. And as you're ready, come on down to the floor again. And as you come down to the floor, let's take a couple blankets to sit on. And we'll come into Baddha Konasana. So you'll bring yourself as high onto your supports as is good for you. Maybe you'll take blocks underneath your legs because you're taking the soles of your feet together, heels close to your body. Baddha Konasana. And let's chant the seed sound of the fire element. Let's install the sound of roong. So it's kind of like R-O-O-N-G. Installing the vibrational sound of the fire element, which we associate with the manomaya kosha, the mind, the mental, the intellectual layer of your awareness. As you're ready, gently just draw your belly tissues into you to sustain the right amount of fire. And using your sense of sight, either close your eyes or fix your gaze at a point out in front of you. Exhaling. And if you like, keep your hands on your belly. And inhaling. Room. 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 Let it go for a moment. Notice the fire, your mind, your thoughts. Notice your digestion. And 3 more. Exhaling. Steady your gaze. Inhale.
Room. Room. Roam. Good. Transitioning now in a little more from the earth to the water to the fire to the air. Draw your inner thighs, current them up to your pelvic floor and bring your knees together. And come and sit in Virasana. So again, sitting up on something that is high enough, and have your strap near you. And if Virasana is not a good place for you, sit in cross-legged instead. So Virasana has your knees bent, soles of your feet pointing up, a very even, steady offering through your pelvic halves, legs, and feet. Now take your strap, if you want to use one. We're coming into Gomukhasana. Take your strap over your right shoulder and moving into the Vijnana Maya Kosha. This is the discrimination or the power of discernment. And it's very much related to wisdom, compassion, and the buddhi mind, the heart mind. Whereas the Manomaya Kosha was the intellectual mind, what we might call the ahankara mind or the ego mind. This is more coming into the mind of the heart, the mind of compassion. So as you're ready, let's begin to explore the air. So your right lung and the air through your right lung, just start to inhale, move through the air around you. So inhale, circle one way, exhale it back and around. You can still use that deep ujjayi pranayama, making the sound of the ocean. And be sure to breathe three-dimensionally, three-part lung breath, noticing the air in your lungs and the air in the room around you. And as you're ready, go ahead and let your right elbow come up and hold your hand onto the strap, and let your left lung provide this little internal rotation. So you initiate the movement through the air in your left lung and you hold the strap from underneath. Now start to pull your hands apart from one another. So you are holding on to the strap and you're going to pull the strap. Okay, so you want to feel that little bit of resistance into your strap here. Now, really direct your breath into that three-part, three-dimensional dirga breath. And if you don't want to use a strap, you don't have to. It could be even a sock or a belt. You could hold your hands instead of your strap. Begin to notice the air in the backs of your lungs. So directing your breath into the back of your lungs. And breathe into the part of you that embodies wisdom, compassion, loving kindness, gentleness. This is the part of you with the sense of touch that knows how to touch into your own inner wisdom. So notice right now, are your hands touching the strap? Are they touching each other? Are they resting on a place on your back? And breathe fully, especially into the backs of your lungs here, because it's also easy to get stuck in the front lungs. So direct your breath, yes, three-part, three-dimensional dirga breath,
but also a little more emphasis into your back lungs. Vijnana Maya Kosha, the sheath of awareness that is the discrimination, the power of discernment, your buddhi mind, your heart wisdom, your compassion, your ability to embody loving kindness. And as you feel ready, press your hands into your back very slowly, as if your hands were glued onto you. Slowly start to take them off and move through the air around you. This is the part of you that embraces community, that says, I'll take less so you can have more. This is the part of you that starts to make sense of your perceptions, because your perceptions start to widen. You start to touch the world around you from your heart's wisdom, from your compassion, from your generosity. And you feel this movement here, this heart through lungs, through arms, reaching out through your arms and into what you touch. Everything we touch with our hands relates directly back up our arms, into our lungs, and right into our heart. Heart, lung, arm, hand, touch. Good, and as you're ready, come to stillness. And if you're using the strap, take it over your left side shoulder now. Initiating the movement from your left side lung. Journey from the air inside of you to the air all around you. Let each breath move you through the air, both that's in you and all around you. Notice your wisdom. Notice where you are as you relate to the air inside of you and all around you. And as you're ready, let your left elbow come up. From your right side lung, there's a little internal spiral here to take your arm behind you. And again, you pull against the strap, or you interlace your fingers and you pull your fingers apart. Three-dimensional, three-part lung breathing, right? That's the essential meaning of dirga breath, not durga, dirga. Notice what you are touching. Through all parts of your body, what are you touching? And notice the air touching you back. Resting your awareness in your heart mind, your wisdom self, your compassionate self. The part of you that knows you don't need to self-protect or control or plan, because there's a wisdom guiding you. Vijnana Maya Kosha. 2 more breaths here. And as you feel complete, as you say, yes, the wisdom in me guides me now, and maybe it's not right now, maybe it's in another moment. Trust the wisdom in you. Press your arms into your back, slowly coming off, and let the air in your lungs move you through the air around you. Feel the air touching your skin. And settle it. Come and take your body off of what you're sitting on. And take your blanket roll. And you're going to roll it up here. Making a blanket roll. We're coming into a restorative fish. And with your restorative fish, if you have the supports at home, it could even just be
towels, right? It doesn't have to be blankets. It could be a towel. You're going to take yourself down onto your blanket roll. So it's the middle to upper portion of your shoulder blades on the blanket roll and the other blanket under your neck and head. Options to keep your knees bent or to straighten your legs. And options with your arms to rest your hands on your front heart and lungs or out to the sides or up overhead. So take your time getting set up. And when you're set up, rest. Rest your awareness in your wisdom, in your loving kindness, in your Buddhi mind, in the fascial weave that wraps every single thing in your body. Your fascial weave, in a way, represents community, this connective tissue that says, I got it, I'll hold you all because I care about you all. So that can be felt through the fascia, your connective tissue in your body, saying, I care about the whole, I'll support the whole. Slow your breath down, deepen your breath from a gentle, slow perspective. An invitation, really. Feel your lungs expanding and condensing. Feel your heart resting in the cradle of your lungs and your breathing diaphragm. Every breath that is breathed, your lungs and your diaphragm massage your heart. Rest in your Vijnanamaya kosha, wisdom sheath. Right? It's like viveka, that sword of discrimination that comes slicing through the air and separates out truth from untruth. Now we'll chant the bija seed sound for the air element here in this posture. And the sound is yang. And because we're on our backs like this, we'll do it just 3 times. So 1 single round with 3. So settle now and release your exhale all the way to empty. And inhaling. Yang. 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 Let it go. Notice the air. Notice the love. Notice the compassion. And as you're ready, please roll off to your side. Slip your blankets out from under you. Come onto your back again and take either the same blanket you were using or your block and place it underneath the back of your pelvis, coming into a restorative bridge pose, restorative Setu Bandha. You can come to whatever height of block if you're choosing the block. Make sure that the blanket or the block is under the back of your pelvis and not your lumbar spine. So it's pelvic halves and sacrum, but not up into the lumbar spine. We're going to begin to transition here from the air into the space inside your body, into the layer of bliss or divine delight or joy inside of you, rest your awareness in your Anandamaya kosha. The Anandamaya kosha is the bliss sheath. It's the Sat Chit Ananda. It's the place in you that is space and has the possibility of you recognizing peace, inner comfort, and joy that is not related to anything outside of you. It's our birthright to embody joy, to embody the experience of divine delight, and it is not dependent on anything outside of us, good or bad. We like something, we don't like something. It's what you're made of. It's what yoga teaches us. This is the substance inside of us all, the Sat Chitananda, truth, consciousness, bliss. So resting here in whatever height of supported bridge, or choosing to come into Viparita Karani. Again, you're still on your blanket or your block, but you're extending your legs up into the air. Breathe in to the field of vibrating cells that you are made up of. Notice every cell in your body expanding and condensing. This is the ground of being. You're made up of trillions of cells. They are all being breathed. It's the deepest breath in you. It's what initiates the lung breath. It's where the lung breath arises from. Anandamaya kosha, the blissful sheath, the sense of sound. So staying here in whatever version of restorative bridge or legs up, we'll take a minute or two to really rest into the vibrating field of cells expanding and condensing. And notice what you can hear from the nada, the inner sound. And to help you feel, sense, embody, receive the inner sound, if it's okay for you as you're in this restorative pose, we'll take Brahmari, the bee buzzing breath. So you can either block off your ears, your eyes if you want to, or just leave it be. You don't have to always do this with your ears blocked. It does help. So if it's possible for you, just go ahead and block your ears. Not quite yet. Let me just explain what to do. We're going to only do this one time and a really long version of it. So what you'll do is you'll inhale, and on the exhale, you'll just make the It's an sound, but it's the bee buzzing. We're doing it just once. So feel free to do this with your ears blocked off to help you rest in the inner vibrating field of cellular expression, joy, radiance, divine delight. As you're ready, inhale, block your ears if you want, and and when you need air, inhale and exhale. If your legs are up in the air, bring your feet down. Press down, float yourself up off your block. Hug your knees in, rock a little side to side. Let the space inside of you guide your way to a simple twist on each side. And breathe from the cellular expansion, condensing, your ground of being. This innermost layer is that of radiance. It's that of joy. As you're ready, make your way into a simple spiral onto the other side, resting your awareness into this spark of radiance within the layer of your cellular body. And as you're ready, unspin, join the soles of your feet together. And you can keep your head and neck down on the earth, or you can curl up. And just like with the last element in kosha, we'll do just one round of 3 chants of the seed sound of the space element. And it sounds like this. How. So planting the vibration of the seed sound of the space element into every cell in your body. You can be in this Baddha Konasana variation. If you'd rather, you can rest it down on the floor, or you can curl up as you're ready. Inhale. How. How. And letting it go, curling up, disappearing into the inner space that is very full. It's empty and it's full. And open yourself up, bring your body into Shavasana, resting in the stillness of Shavasana. And from the element of space, we journey into that from which all these qualities, all these traits, all these elements come from. It's like we go and we return into the Om. So from the Chittamaya Kosha, our individual consciousness, where there's just latent tinges of qualities and elements and traits, just very, very, very fine, thin tinges of these qualities, we start to recognize, I am consciousness. You are consciousness. From the earth, through the water, through the fire, through the air, through the space, you are Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda. Truth, consciousness, bliss. So resting your awareness in your Chitta Maya Kosha, move it now into your Atma Maya Kosha, completely beyond elements, beyond qualities, beyond traits. This is your full embodiment of what they say in the Vedas. All this is nothing but that. This is the source in you.
the universal consciousness, undifferentiated. I am. All this is nothing but that. The resting place of the oneness of divinity. So rest here in the silence, in the innermost place of source that all things arise from. From this place that is the source, that is the oneness, that is divinity, move your consciousness, your awareness freely from this place and out through the layers. From the source, Atma Maya Kosha, to your individual consciousness, Chitta Maya Kosha, to the space, Ananda Maya, to the air, Vijnana Maya, to the fire, Manomaya, to the water, Pranamaya, and to the earth, Anamaya. Knowing that you can float your awareness in between, all throughout, all these layers, anytime. Gather yourself now and bring yourself to your side and then up to your seat. And as you arrive into your seat, collect your hands into Anjali Mudra. And it is here we'll chant the seed sound of Om, which is really the universal sound. It's the place that all the other sounds come out of and return back into. And Om is that source. Exhaling all the way to empty. We'll chant one Om and 3 chants of Shanti, peace. Inhaling. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace.